if my calculations are correct, in half an hour, we're either going to see a hot panda, or a hot dog, or a hot mess. Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope you, right there, yes you, watching me on the telly, which is so weird sometimes. Thank you wherever you are in the world for watching. Welcome, this is a Barry Tries video today, part of a playlist where I try recipes from famous chefs, blogs, etc. And today I'm attempting a recipe I've wanted to do for a very long time. This today is something called Panda Bread. It's quite self-explanatory, it's bread, and it's supposed to look like a panda when you slice it down the middle. You make 3 different coloured doughs, you bring them together, but it's how you stack them. That is the critical way that determines whether this recipe looks like a panda or a pug. Or not even a pug, it could just look like some horrid 3-tiered different doughy mess. But it does take quite a while, obviously making dough, all the proving involved and all that sort of stuff. It's important to do that, and we will follow it to the T. We're gonna go for this. I've been putting this recipe off for many years, just because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna make it look so bad. The whole context of this recipe is you basically make different logs and it's all about how you stack it. But first up, we need to make the dough, so let's go. Okay, let's just get straight into it because there are a fair few steps today. First thing we need is an egg yolk. Just the yolk only, apparently. All right, so the white is going there. Can chill that and use it another day. And the other thing we need is 1 cup in total with this. This recipe's from a website called tablespoon.com, by the way. Okay, combined egg yolk and milk, 1 cup, which is about 253 mils, I think. The only problem I'm finding is this is an American recipe. It says 3 cups of flour. Now the first result said to me 120 grams per cup, so 360. And I scrolled a bit further down just to get some verification of this, and it says 250 grams per cup, which is almost double when you ratio that up. So I luckily have a cup measure. I mean, if you sieve it, that'll probably make a difference, and I'll let you know what that is for us gram folks. Let's just go a little bit over the board so I can, oh my gosh. Oh yes. Windscreen wiper. So, folks, 1 cup is, well, for me it's 150 grams. So maybe if it was sieved, it would be that 125. So we'll stick with my first result of 125. That could have been a very floury panda. Just for reference, this is the 3rd one going in, and it's about 450. I'm happy we've measured it accurately. Whereas as for the sugar, 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. I like tablespoons. Why can't we just all get along and have one universal size for like every? We should do like just like cooking measurements for international folks, you know, the www measurement or something. That is true over the years. I've never really said this before, but a lot of the recipes I do attempt tend to have like cup sizes, and I'm like, ooh, kind of like makes me shudder a little bit. I'm like, tablespoons, teaspoons, grams, I'm comfortable with, but we should do it together, come up with our own like Barry measurement or something like that. The flour, the sugar, and the yeast, ooh, all going in there. Well, we've got to add some wet to the mixture in a minute anyway, but we might as well just give that a stir around. So the sugar, flour, and yeast. Oh, and that spoon, which is, the head of the spoon is just as long as the handle, is Stuart's Chef Excellence one, which we've now sort of embossed in flour. It's quite cool. Excellent spoon. I hope to see Stuart soon. He lives the other side of the country, so it's quite hard for us to really, you know, the way the world is. He's here, collaborating in spoon form. Going back to our milky egg yolk mixture, we're just gonna dollop in some butter and some salt. Now, if it wasn't for you guys, I learned so much from you over the years. Salt and yeast do not like each other at first, but apparently when you mix it all separately and you just quickly get it in, rather than putting it in the same thing next to each other, it has a much better chance of not killing the yeast, that is, apparently. And I learned that the hard way in a video. It still kind of worked, but a lot of the feedback in the comments, this was years ago, it was like, Barry, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, so though a lot of my messages are like, oh Barry, thank you for inspiring me to cook and all that sort of stuff, or learn about fun food, a lot of you guys learn and teach me things, so thank you. So a quick blast in the microwave just to melt that butter up. We'll whisk it up again, and then we'll be making the dough. I mean, we technically already are making the dough, but you know, we're gonna make it look like a dough. You know what I meant, dough. Nice. smooth. For me, one of the best experiences of making a dough is when you're like getting your hands in there and working it. But my worktop hates it when I do that. It takes me ages to get the flour out and Mrs. B kills me. I also believe in working smarter, not harder, and I love gadgets. And one of the most common gadgets, an electric mixer, does come with a dough hook. Or if you have a stand mixer, even better. You see, these dough hooks. Pour the warmed, buttery, milky mixture in there, and that's really gonna help our yeast. And then dough it up. Dough hook time. It just seems to be like these bits here, they are trying to grab to it. That looks really nice. But I'm gonna add a little, just a teeny smidgen more milk. Oh, yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I added probably like about half a tablespoon of milk. If you do that and then you're like, oh, it's too wet, add some flour. But don't go down that route when you're like, milk, flour, milk. Otherwise you'll just be like, ah. We can make a whole life-size panda then. Oh, that'd be amazing. That is a really nice dough. Extremely happy with that. So we have to divide this now to make the panda's eyes and ears and the foliage, I assume, behind the panda. I've just covered it in flour just to help my knife go through this a little bit more. And this is my left-handed tape measure, which if you saw the left-handed gadget video, I'm now using with my right hand because I slice in my left. But it is genuinely useful. I do use that quite a lot. Okay, so this is gonna be the eyes and ears. And then halfway down it, I made a mark there. We've got one which we're gonna leave plain, and then this we will dye with the matcha powder. So cocoa powder, matcha powder, we'll leave this plain. I've got a nice greased, clean, buttery bowl here, and the plain dough, we might as well get going. So we'll place that in there, like so. Rapmaster 3000, aka cling film. Thank you. We can leave this now to prove for about an hour. And the proving spot is actually going to be the other side of this room because it is extremely warm in here today, folks. It's nearly 30 degrees. There's probably some people going, that's cold, man. But that is warm for England, folks. So yeah, warm place to prove. It's going to sit there and we'll do the other ones. If you do like he said dough bread recipes, I've done loads. In fact, last year I did a really fun one called tin can bread, where you actually make the bread in a tin can, and it worked out really well. We even had a basic, we didn't have the kitchen done by then. We had a really basic little oven, a microwave thing, and it worked a charm. So if you want some inspiration, have a little rummage on the website. All right, here's some cocoa powder. Just boiled my kettle, and we need a little trickle in there. And I'm gonna very carefully just mix that together to kind of make a paste. So there we go, folks. It all comes down to this mix of whether this will look like a panda or not. And it is the same with the green tea as well. So a small amount of that. This is matcha green tea. Apparently you can just use matcha powder or just green food coloring. God, it looks a bit like spinach. But I think I will just squeeze a little bit of the green food dye in anyway. Why not? All right, I think we're ready. So we've got a nice clean bowl again. I want this to be our mixing hub. We'll get the bigger dough. Oh, it feels so good. Ooh. And then push our green paste and let's mix it. I mean, that's really fun spinning that round, but it's kind of speckled. I'm sure it would be fine as it bakes. I'm gonna let this hang a little bit and add some more food dye. I wanna get a nice vibrant color on it. Yeah, I want this to be vibrant. I want it green. Oh my gosh. That is a perfect color. Yeah, so the last one, I really don't think we're gonna have any problems with this. So a nice clean bowl, clean the prongs on here as well. There's a little bit marbly, so I am just trying to knead this a bit more with my hands. I have found though in the past when I've done like cakes, when you dye it and stuff, your batter doesn't look that great, but then when you bake it, it all goes to a consistent color. So I'm thinking, I mean, we're probably like 90% there. I just want to work it through a bit more. There we go then, folks. The same dough, but looking very different. We're going to leave this now. You can see how this one's had a bit of a head start. This one's starting to catch up, and we're going to just put that one down, but we will leave it for a good 90 minutes. And whilst that is doing that, I've got a little bit of tidying up to do. The dough hook thing did work an absolute charm. I would highly recommend that, and definitely use the green food color. And I think the matcha for the flavor, but for the vibrancy based on that alone of the color, the green food colour, and use the two if you like. In reality, once I'm done cleaning, I'm going to spend the rest of the time researching how we build this panda shape, because I'm a bit worried about how much dough we've got there. It's fine because we can roll it out long. I'm also worried about what my bread tin, if it's going to be the right size, but hey, we can always make panda cupcakes or something, can't we? Let me worry about that, and I'll see you in a bit. So it's been an hour and 20 minutes, it's nice and doubled in size. The thing that's come to me whilst I was waiting, I was thinking, there is no more ingredients involved anymore. It is now just about building this thing. I've got a bread tin here that I've not lined, I've decided to grease it instead. It's 21 centimetres and a bit at the bottom, 24 at the top, so there's a slight angle. So what it turns out we do is just kind of make strips and build it together using the other dough. You divide it into 3 again with 2 big bits and 1 smaller bit, and that smaller bit is what sort of bridges it. Hopefully it'll make sense. Half again. I really don't think I've got enough dough. So what I'm gonna do is roll it out super thin. Oh, it's gonna be a little cute panda. That looks so wrong. That's gonna be one of my panda eyes. Do you know what? I know it looks a bit random now, but that could still work like that. I've just got to do that 3 more times, and that's the chocolate one only. Woo! But one thing I am going to do is where I've floured it, it hasn't told me to do this. I'm just going to add a little bit of water to join that together and create a seal. Thank you. And about literally 20 minutes later, there we are. Yeah, this is the ears and eyes. I said that with real confidence. Okay, so it's this bit, the base that's gonna form its face. We're gonna get rows for the eyes, and then this little wedge will hold those into place, but we'll get them all to size first. We might as well start building it now. I really have about 10% confidence right now. The one thing though is when I return back to our dough, you know, when it's doubled in size, we have to do that again. So it might all, you know, there's a bit more thickness on this since I rolled it out. It might still do it. I don't know. I'm gonna take one of the eyes. It really looks like an eye, doesn't it? I mean, we can't deny it's gonna be something, isn't it? It's gonna be something. That's always hope, folks. Kind of looks like some beef jerky just sat on some pizza dough at the moment, but we are gonna keep going. And I feel like this is definitely rising. So wetting it again, because now we completely cloak it in that remaining bit of unbleached or dyed dough. Does that look like eyes? Maybe. Okay. I mean, I'm seeing eyes. Please agree with me. So just wetting that again. I love doing the Barry Tries playlist. I just never know how easy or tricky something's going to be. Like Gordon Ramsay beef Wellington, legitimately easier than this. But I have pinched the ears slightly. Like I say, I want to try and give it a little bit of personality, like it's got like a slightly angled ear. I know that sounds a bit weird. We've got this piece of dough that goes in here and kind of bonds it. Okay, so that's a thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm glad that ear is holding. I've no idea what you're thinking right now, how this looks. Just editing that now, looking at what now you're looking at, thinking, oh my gosh, that looks awful. Well, believe it or not, folks, this is it. Come on, this is going to be awful, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Right, in you go. There's a cake called Colin the Caterpillar. In the UK, there was a bit of an argument with all the supermarkets quite recently about it. I nearly did a homemade one, but it looks a little bit like a budget one of those. We're going to leave this again for about another 90 minutes to see if we can get it just to rise a bit, just to fill that pan out a bit more. And who knows, this could work out right. I am 33% confident this is going to look half okay. I mean, I think it will taste great though. Pray for me, please. This has got to work. All right, preheating my oven. It has had just under an hour and a half. Check this out. Boom! Look how much that has risen whilst it's rested. I am now feeling about 50-50 confident wise. It's going to all go down to what it looks like when it slices, but it has filled out the majority of the tray. It's a little bit in the corner, but as it bakes, I'm sure that'll fill out. I am a lot happier now than before. It was like only half filling that tin, so that's the importance of letting it rest like that. So let's get it baked and see ultimately if we've done this. Do you know what? I don't care what it looks like. We've actually gonna have a good bread. It's just really Panda or Pug or something else. If my calculations are correct, in half an hour we're either going to see a hot panda or a hot dog or a hot mess. There is something about walking into a room with freshly baked bread. It has had over 5 minutes more on the cooking time, just because in the past, whenever I found a baked bread, I like to just push it a teeny bit longer. But look, it's got like this brown lid with the green picking up around the sides. Look at that colour. That's amazing. It's been baked through. Oh gosh, this is so unknown. Oh, I really don't know what's going to happen here. I'm not sure if this has worked very well, but it smells amazing. I love this sort of gradient stuff going on. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Let's slice in and see if we have a panda. All right. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? It looks a bit more like a Pikachu. I don't really do Pokemon. Yeah, it's got his little head sticking up, his eyes there, and the ears. That triangular shape on the ear, particularly that one, has worked a charm. I just hit the marbling on the cocoa, just annoyingly. Ah, I've hit a slightly better bit there. I'm really happy with that. Like, from what it was before I sliced into it, I was thinking, oh no. But the other thing to remember is there's actually cocoa in this and the matcha powder, so it's going to have quite a unique taste. I'm going to taste it right now. Now, it's definitely more Pikachu. The third P, not Panda, not Pug, Pikachu bread. Mmm. Really soft. The matcha is actually really nice and delicate. You get a nice little vibe of that running, but that cocoa, remember we only diluted it a little bit. It was like a real thick paste on there. That is strong. You don't really get a sense of the chocolate paste. It's kind of like a rich, intense flavour, but the texture of it, nice firm crust, but it's really soft and delicate. It's actually a really nice bread. Overall, I'm actually really happy with how our devilish angry panda has turned out. When I was looking at this recipe, I was doing some more research, looking at some, and there were some absolutely horrendous results, and I was willing to take it either way, and for a first time, I'm not too disappointed in that. There is some clear definition there, and I think it's just really fun, just like all the other recipes here on the Barry Tries playlist. So don't forget to check it out. If you've seen any cool recipes you want to see me tackle, do let me know down below. And if you try this, don't forget to tag me on your social media of choice. I'd love to see what yours turns out like. And if anyone wants to try a pug with a tongue, that'll be stonking too. See you later.
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all three.
Right, have a look at it.
What does it look
and
like?
Tell me what it looks like.
We try around that way. What does that look like?
Oh, it looks like one of those green pigs in Angry Birds.
Chloe, what does it look like to you?